So we ended up going 6 for 7 on the day, and I got to give a big shout out to G-Roar because he absolutely crushed it. He ended up going 5 for 5 on the day. His best trade was during the power hour trading session. We ended up making a 1000% profit return within the span of 4 minutes day trading SPX put options. And before that, we had many multiple 100% profit returns on SPY options. I'm going to be breaking down all of the trades that we ended up making towards this video. In terms of my own personal trades, I ended up going 1 for 2. Collectively, we went 6 for 7. This was an amazing day where you could have made over a 2000% potential profit return with all of the trades combined. First things first, let's get straight into the money-making game plan. So in terms of the game plan, what I want you to be aware of is one of the preparations that I use in terms of preparing a day, before in advance is the daily chart. And based off of how the daily chart is setting up, it is not setting up for the most predictable move in terms of the daily chart foundation, right? So as a trader, you have to be aware in terms of what works best for you and what you can stack with in your favor. And heading into tomorrow, I'm going to be well aware that in terms of the daily chart, it's not setting up for the overall best foundation. So I'm going to be very meticulous and picky with the overall trades that I'm going to be making. So that is unfortunate in terms of the overall predictability, in terms of the game plan and night before advance. But like I said, there is many different strategies that I use as well. That's just one of the overall strategies within the deck. But what we're going to be working with in terms of a night before advanced is going to be the 20-day, 30-minute overall pattern that I'm seeing on the chart here and the price ladder, the key levels of interest, right? So I just want to make it very clear based off of a day before in advance, this isn't going to be the most predictable money-making opportunity due to the lack of the daily chart foundation and where we're currently at. But I'm going to be explaining to you a pattern that I'm seeing that could potentially repeat, and I'm going to be giving you the best levels to be trading at, right? So it's just very important to be aware, especially when you're preparing to overall trade, that you understand in terms of the best setups at the best prices. If there's certain things that are not aligned, you need to be aware of that heading into the market tomorrow and maybe not even potentially trade. But like I said, that's just one of the overall pieces to the deck. There's many more. So of course, there's going to be trades tomorrow. Just want to bring awareness to that in terms of the game plan the night beforehand. Now, in terms of the overall chart, first things first, I'm going to go over the pattern. This is the pattern that I'm seeing. So going back throughout the 20-day, 30-minute chart, this is the pattern that can potentially repeat itself if we do end up gapping up. So, in terms of the SPY, you can see right here, we have this move up to the sideways, then we have a sharp fall down. We have this move up to the sideways, then we have a sharp fall down. Then during the extended hours trading session, you can see there's this strong green wick, and the next day we gap up and it ends up being a gap and go, and then it ends up selling off towards the end of the day, right? So if we are gapping up, and like I said, if you just compare this overall pattern right here, if you just compare this left-hand side overall chart, these 2 days right here, so I'm referring to February 7th and February 10th, you compare these 2 days, and then you compare today, right? So, February 26th, and then tomorrow, if we're gapping up, a lot of similarities, especially with this wick towards after hours and this wick towards after hours, right? So if we are gapping up, the overall play is going to be to buy call options on the overall dip, right? I mean, you could even say in a sense as well, it looks like this right here, looks like this right here, then it dips, and then we start to pump, right? So basically, if we are gapping up, the SPY is going to be on track to spike to 597.80 to even potentially 599. That's going to be the overall zone. And if we do gap up, there's going to be opportunities for puts, right? But first things first, let's go over the game plan for calls. So if we're gapping up, if we're opening up higher than the previous closing price of 594.54, the main focus is going to be to buy call options on the dips at first, right? So in terms of the key levels of interest, it's going to be slightly above the previous closing price, and we're going to be going with break and retest levels, right? So in terms of the main break and retest levels that I've analyzed throughout the overall chart that are above the previous closing price, the main one is going to be the following, right? So we closed at 594.50, going to be focused on 595.50, going to be focused on 596.50, in between that overall range. You can also wait for a 2-point breakout above a resistance level. And then if the SPY drops back down to that previous resistance level, break and retest, you can buy calls on the retest as well, especially if we are gapping up. And then if we are gapping up, there will likely be an opportunity for put options. So in terms of where we can potentially drop first, we can potentially drop first in between the zone of 598 to 599. 598, this is previous support on the 30-minute chart. Once this level cracked, it didn't spike back to 598. So once we spike back to 598, breakdown and retest, the inverse, a breakout and retest where you can go short, basically support cracks and then a retest tries to form a lower high. That strategy has been working very, very well throughout the past week, where when SPY has been cracking major support, crashes, spikes back up to that previous support, reacts as a resistance. And again, support right here, crashes, spikes back up, reacts as a resistance. So heading into tomorrow, especially if we are gapping up, I would be focused on put options in between that zone of 598 to 599. So you can look for bearish red 30-minute candlestick confirmations in between that zone. Another tip I can give you is instead of trying to, just use the bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation, it could potentially be a double top. So you can just wait for the market to crash towards key resistance levels. And then once it spikes back up to that previous resistance level, if you see red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations heading into the close, you can try to play puts on the double top, right? So if we're topping out in the morning or in the middle of the day and we start to sell off like 2 points and then we spike back up later into the day, into the market close, focus on put options. That is a strong recommendation for puts as well. So that's the overall game plan if we are gapping up. Now, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to be trading if we're not gapping up, or even if the previous closing price is reacting, bearish. I'm not the biggest fan in terms of buying, trying to buy put options at these oversold levels, especially with the current pattern that's in play. I'd rather be buying the put options at 598, 599 if we do gap up. So in terms of the overall analysis, if previous closing price is reacting bearish, or if we're just gapping down, I would just sway away from puts simply because I don't like the levels and I'm not seeing the current patterns. And again, this is just a day before, a night in advance. Things change in terms of market open and normal trading hours. But, based off the levels and the patterns that I'm seeing, if we're reacting bearish, I would just look for oversold dip buying opportunities. So in terms of the oversold levels, this 589.70, you have a lot of strong support at 589.70. That would be what I would consider 589.50 to 590, one of the best levels to buy calls. And then if that cracks and reacts as a resistance, the next break and retest level is going to be towards this 585 to 584 overall zone. And I would auto buy calls in between the zone, right? So if previous closing price reacts bearish, we'll be on track to go to 590, and then there should be some sort of bounce at that 590. And then if that reacts bearish, then 584 to 585 auto buy calls there, right? I'm just not the biggest fan in terms of if we are reacting bearish at previous closing price to buy puts at 594, I'm likely just going to sit out on that overall momentum, right? So that's the game plan. Very, very simple. In terms of some more upside levels that you can use, heading later into this week. If we ever do break above 599, the next level is going to be 650. Next level above that is going to be 602, likely going to crash at 602.50 once we hit that. Previous support to react as a resistance. Next level is above that, 604, 605.50, 607, great level for puts, 610, best level for puts. That's just more levels in terms of future and events. So that's what I have to say in terms of, the analysis a day before the market's open. Now, let's get into the trades, man. So in terms of the trades, man, I got to give a big shout out to G-Roar because these fucking trades were fucking phenomenal, man. The consistency, everything was there. This was a perfect trading day, man. So big shout out to him, man. He absolutely fucking crushed it, man. Look at all these fucking wins. I'm going to walk you through all this, man. So this is the overall morning, updated morning game plan as well. And in terms of the overall trades, 9:39 a.m., we ended up buying 6 1-SPY calls at 58 cents a contract, right? So if you go to 9:39 a.m. and you go to these overall calls, I'm going to walk you through this here, right? So in terms of this overall trade, as you can see, we got in this trade at 9:39 a.m., 601 SPY calls for 58 cents a contract. These are the option quote prices moving in real time, along with real-time analysis, right? Everything you need to know and understand, right? Trading alone status literally in real time. Everything is written out 100% in real time. So you could see in terms of adding to winners, we're adding into the winners, 9:49 a.m., right? So we bought these fucking calls at 9:39 a.m. This is where we got in. We got in towards the exact lows right here in the 50s. And these contracts went all the way to 110 cents a contract. They went up over 110% plus in literally less than 1 fucking hour. So that was the first trade on the overall day, and that was a phenomenal fucking win. And like I said, adding to the winners to increase the fucking winnings, doubling the position size. This is part of the real-time, options trading alert system. For those of you who trade alongside us, you're well aware in terms of more background to the system, adding to winners, buying second strikes if we're down 50% on a play at times, not using stop losses, setting profit stops, moving the profit stops up higher. Right? So I'm showing you exactly what it is that we're doing in real time. Like I said, everything is literally alerted in real time. And in terms of the next trade, this was the second trade. We ended up buying 595 SPY puts for 64 cents a contract. So if you go to 595 SPY puts at 11:59 a.m., this is where we got in. You're going to see right here, we got in these puts literally at the exact lows, just like the calls. So we got in these puts right here in the 50s. They quickly dropped to 45 cents, right? So the puts were down like 25, 30%. We don't use stop losses. We hold the trades. The most we put into the trade is our max risk per trade, our multiple. If the trade expires worthless and goes to zero and never goes green, then we lose on the overall trade. We have the entire day for the trade to go green. If the trade goes green and we're up 15%, we set a profit stop. We have the entire day for the trade to go in the money to make the most massive percentage gains within the market. So in terms of this overall trade, and the beauty of not using the stop loss is, despite the timing not being 100% accurate, because it doesn't need to, because we've created a system where you don't need a fucking stop loss. And if you don't need a stop loss, you can hold the trade throughout the entire fucking day. Like I said, we're doing the complete opposite of what everyone that you follow is doing. This is a real-time money-making zero-day options trading alert system. So as you can see, 60 cents is a phenomenal fucking entry because it went all the way to fucking 400. So the trade dropped 30 fucking percent, but it went up 1,000%. Imagine buying a fucking trade that's down 30%, you don't use stop losses, and it goes up 1,000%. I mean, fuck, I would pay fucking 60 cents for it to go up nearly a fucking 1,000%. If the trade dropped 90%, I would take that fucking entry. If I can get in on that entry where it can go up multiple 100%, I don't give a fuck if it drops 90%. If it drops 90%, I could just buy a second fucking strike and hold that strike. So what we do is we trade the trend. As you can see, this is the beauty of trading the fucking trend. The trend in the morning in terms of getting in and getting out very, very quickly was call options. The trend later into the day was put options. As soon as we bought these fucking puts, it went from fucking 60 to fucking 400, nearly 1,000%, like 600%, right? So with that being said, that was the second win on the day. And again, adding to the winners, doubling the position size, right? So if you're following along with these fucking instructions, you should be so fucking green where you can just call it for the rest of the week. You should be up multiple hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars. I mean, there's some people that are up 5 fucking figures on today. Because like I said, it was non-stop winning with the biggest fucking wins in the fucking market. We're talking about 60 cents to 400 within the span of 1 fucking hour. We are outperforming every single organization you know of that's out there. And we are the most consistent in the highest win rate, trading 0-8 far the money option contracts. That is the second win on the overall day, adding into the fucking winners. So with that being said, and you can see, man, everything is alerted 100% real time, setting the profit stops at 100. We were in at fucking 60. It was a straight fucking line up and literally outs, and sold in the 1 fucking 40s, right? So with that being said, in terms of the next fucking win at 1:15 p.m., this is now 3 wins in a row, 592 SPY puts for 73 cents a contract at 1:15 p.m. So if you go to 1:15 p.m., this is where we ended up getting in on these 592 puts. We got in right here, timed it fucking perfectly, right? So as soon as we got in, it went from 80 cents to 60 cents. Again, it dropped like 30%. And then it quickly went to 190 a contract. This is another phenomenal fucking win, man. Setting the profit stops at 110. Everything is alerted in real time, literally recapping the overall trade and overall direction in real fucking time. 3 for 3 on the overall day. Now, in terms of the next fucking win, at 1:56 p.m., we ended up buying 596 SPY calls for 55 cents a contract, man. Who the fuck do you know is printing and winning this fucking much in a singular fucking day, man? I'm telling you, when you're a professional trader, you can trade all fucking day, man. You can trade during the market open, middle of the day, power fucking hour. When you have a system that fucking works, you can trade non-fucking stop, especially if you are trading with your intuition, with the heart of cards. So with that being said, in terms of this overall trade at 1:59 p.m., this is where we got in at 1:59 p.m., 596 SPY calls. You're going to see right here, we literally got in on these calls. So I'm going to break this down here for you. 1:59 p.m., we got in towards the exact lows, 56 cents, and then it quickly went to 40 cents. So notice how a lot of the trades, the timing was nearly spot on, but just a couple minutes, they dropped 20, 30%. This is why if you trade 0-day options and you use stop losses, you're never going to fucking win, man. Within a couple minutes, the trades are dropping 30%, but within 30 minutes to an hour, they're going up multiple 100% profit returns. So this trade quickly went from 50 cents all the way to 93 cents, nearly 100% profit return. That is the fourth win in a row, adding into the contracts, man. That's how we increase our winnings. Notice how we're focused on adding to our winners, not our fucking losers. Instead of adding to a loss, if we do want to add to a loss, or if we see an opportunity to take advantage of the trend, we just buy a second strike instead of adding to the fucking loss, and then we add to the fucking winner, and then we set the profit stop to protect the new average cost. Nobody is showing you what it is that I'm showing you. And you really have to ask yourself, why is that? Why come all the traders that you follow aren't able to show you something like this, that prints, that works at the speed of fucking light, non-fucking stop, man? So this is the full play breakdown. As you can see, it's the entry, where we add, where we exit, right? Now, in terms of the final play, we are 4 for fucking 4. Surely enough, you'd think all the fucking winning would stop there. At 3:56 p.m., every single day from 3:30 p.m. to 4 p.m., we trade SPX nearly every single day. These trades have the highest risk to reward ratio. If you're following a trader who claims they're a scalper, you truly have to question, why aren't they scalping SPX? Why aren't they risking 55 cents at 3:56 p.m. on 5955 SPX puts to make $400 a contract? I'm pretty sure every trader out there would want to know how to risk 50 fucking cents to make 400 a contract within the span of 4 fucking minutes. This is 3:56 p.m. We got in right here, and then within 2 fucking minutes, the trade goes to 400. These went from 50 to fucking 400. They went up nearly 1,000% within 3 single minutes. This is the power of SPX. You understand? 1,000% profit return. With that trade, we can have 9 losses in a fucking row on SPX and still be fucking green, man. This is a game of percentages. This is a game of risk management. This is a game of having a strong foundation. As a trader, if you haven't figured out how to be successful with a low win rate, then you ain't fucking trading, man. Trading's about risk management, having a strong fucking foundation. If you're focused on optimizing for a high fucking win rate, it's like you're building your foundation fucking backwards. We trade far the money option contracts, 0 dates, because this sets you up for the best foundation. You pay less, you risk less, you don't need a stop loss. Your entire position size is your max risk per trade. The trade can expire worthless and go to 0 if it doesn't work out, and the most you lose is what you put in, which is your R multiple. Therefore, you don't need a stop loss. Options give you options, but far the money option contracts give you the most options, right? So it's a strong edge, man. It's a strong edge when you can buy something that's cheap, low risk, don't need a stop loss. You have the entire day for the trade to go green, and then you could set a profit stop so you get stopped out for profit so you don't go green to red. You can move the profit stop up higher to ensure that you don't get back the bulk of your gains, because if the market has a big move against you and you're up a lot, you don't want to get back the bulk of your gains, right? And we add to winners to increase the fucking winnings. We don't like adding to losers because if you add to fucking losers, you lose more. Why the fuck would we add to losers to begin with if we're trading far the money option contracts when we could just buy a second strike? And the second strike will be cheaper and it will have a better risk to reward ratio and it'll have the biggest percentage gain. So I'm trying to open you up to the light and to experience something new because I'm telling you, whoever the fuck it is that you're watching or following, they're not doing this. We print, we win non-fucking stop. It's unlimited fucking winning. It's unlimited fucking printing. I can assure you, inside of our secure private organization, There is many, many members who are consistently making $500 to $1,000 a day trading alongside us in our community, man. I'm telling you, man, look at this. Less than 30 minutes trading. These are the contracts that just straight the fuck up, man. I'm telling you, that's what our plays fucking do. 83% profit return on their account, man. Look at this. DF, one of our most consistent members, man. $908, man. Look at the fucking results, man. $1,200 profit on Rio. We had a member just join today. He said, oh shit, now I see what these guys are fucking talking about. I'm telling you, nobody's fucking doing this, man. In terms of consistency, highest win rate, biggest percentage gains, in a system, we're talking about adding to winners, no stop losses. When we're down 50% on a play, instead of adding to a loser, buying a second strike, setting profit stops. Who do you know is giving you this information? No, nobody's doing this. So if you want to trade alongside us, it's the first link down below within the description, man. Those were the trades that we ended up making today in terms of my own personal trading. I didn't do much today. I didn't see too much opportunities based off of my overall curriculum that I trade with. And with that being said, I went 1 for 2. So my first trade on the overall day, it was an L. I tried buying calls at an oversold level, and it simply didn't work out. I tried buying calls at an oversold level, and it simply did not work out. But the second trade was fucking phenomenal, man. This was the second trade. So I made 2 trades. The first one didn't work out. The second trade was phenomenal and made up for it. I ended up buying 594 SPY calls at 2:37 p.m. So if you go to 594 SPY calls at 2:37 p.m., this is where I got in. I timed it fucking perfectly, and it quickly went from 120 to 200, nearly 100% profit return. And I literally sold the peak towards 2:45 p.m. Right here, I sold the exact peak. Look at the fucking peak. Right here, 2:45 p.m. Sold at 170 cents right here at 2:45 p.m., right? And like I said, the trade before that I made was an L, right? So I went 1 for 2. G-Roar went 5 for fucking 5. As a fucking collective, we went 6 for fucking 7. We fucking crushed it. With this overall system and every fucking trade that we made today, you could have ran up over a 1,500% profit return, man. Like I said, nobody's fucking doing this. We're literally, I wired fucking $10,000 to your fucking trading account. If you could find me another organization that is doing this, that is winning this much with the biggest percentage gains, with a system, not just buy here, sell fucking here, a system. If you want to see what a fucking system looks like, I'm literally showing you. This is what a fucking system looks like. This is a real-time zero-day options trading alert system. This is where we get in. These are the option quote prices fucking moving in real fucking time. You could see everything's fucking timestamped, right? This is part of the system. Adding. We add to the fucking winners. Doubling the position size. That's part of our system. Adding to winners. Another part of our system is setting the fucking profit stop, right? And I'm selling, right? Selling for the overall gains. Recapping the overall trade. Moving the profit stop up higher. It's a real-time system. So if you want to trade alongside us and gain experience with a multimillionaire and trade alongside multimillionaires, within the overall community, it's the first link down below within the description. I can assure you, man, if you trade alongside us, you are going to level up and you are going to become a lot better. You're never going to know if you don't try, man, to see if our format works for you. It's not going to work out for everyone, but I can assure you there's many consistent members within here where it does work out for them and they are active within the overall community as well. There's a lot of people, they just use the trades. They just keep to themselves. They just trade. They don't participate in the community. And that's completely fine, man. Some people are just focused on being professional. They don't care for a community, right? If they have a question, they can ask within the community, but they're just focused on their own personal trading along with using our system to their advantage. Whether that's them trying to follow our trade, whether that's them trying to use our trade as a confirmation on their overall trade that they're thinking about, right? To be bullish or bearish. We have people who trade on prop firms as well. And if they're trading on prop firms, they can, if we're in on calls, they can go long. If we're in on puts, they can go short. You just have to understand in terms of our system, we don't use stop losses. So that's one thing, in terms of prop firms where there is a difference, right? Just have to understand that. Like I said, we optimize for fire the money zero-day option contracts, but there are people who use our trades for overall directions, calls, bullish, and then they trade something else, right? You can do that. Just understand our overall system is no fucking stop losses. That's how we fucking trade. We don't get stopped out, right? Like if you can't afford, I'll be very blunt about this. Like trading's not for you. If you can't afford to risk 55 cents, $55 a contract to make $440 a contract, like if you can't afford to do that, then don't fucking trade, dude. If you can't afford to risk $55 to make $440 in 3 fucking minutes, then don't fucking trade. Because at the end of the day, in terms of trading, it doesn't get better than that. $50 to $400 in 3 fucking minutes on SPX, this is the best asset class you can possibly trade. That's why I said, if you follow traders who don't hold their trades, like you guys know us, we hold our trades. But during power hour, you can literally make 1,000% in a couple minutes on SPX. It's like, In certain situations, you can't even hold the trade if you want to hold the trade because it makes no fucking sense with the theta decay and stuff like that. It's like one small move on SPX can change everything for you, right? That's why I got to set the profit stops as well. But the point is, I'd seriously question anyone who just gets in, gets out, never holds their fucking trades. If they're so fucking good, why aren't they trading SPX? It's the best asset class. It is cheap. It is low risk. It has the biggest percentage gains. I don't know about you, but during power hour, I'm risking 50 to make 200 to 500. All right? If I'm putting in $50, I'm losing 50 to make 200 to 500. That's just me. I want the highest risk reward in the game. We want to be the fucking best. We're the fucking best. You understand? We don't fuck around with all this other stuff. This is the best style of trading. You cannot become there's no better style of trading than this. This is the best style of trading in terms of real money. Far the money 0-day option contracts. It does not get better than this. So if you want to trade alongside us and see for yourself and experience this, for yourself, it's the first link down below within the description, man. I'm telling you, man. It's fucking. I saw some new people today, man. They were like freaking out. They were like, "Oh shit! Now I see what they're talking about. This is like professional fucking trading." So that's what we do. We're focused on trading, 0-day far the money option contracts. We're focused on creating the best options, 0-day options trading alert system. It's not just buy and sell alerts. It's real-time analysis, no stop losses. We explain where to set the profit stops. Explain where to move your profit stops. Where we exit the overall trade at times. Everything is alerted in real time. The system is designed not only for you to make money with us, but for you to gain experience and learn how to trade alongside us. If you want to learn how to trade, you have to trade. And if you trade alongside us, people with experience for over a decade, and G-Roar is a multimillionaire as well, is the first link down below in the description. You will level up. You will gain experience. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. It's not going to work out for everyone. But at the end of the day, it's working for many, many traders. And we have a very strong foundation and community. So it's the first link down below in the description. If you do want to trade alongside us, that's our style of trading. That's what we ended up doing today. I will see you guys tomorrow within the overall shot. And I'm going to be signing off now.